People that cheated in relationships. What do you think of the phrase, once a cheater, always a cheater? It's definitely possible to get your shit together. The guilt of betraying someone you genuinely love deeply can be enough to motivate someone to identify the cause and patterns of the behavior and make better choices going forward. I literally couldn't imagine acting on any fantasy or temptation that would hurt my partner. I take it that they always will be the person who cheated on you, so realistically, it won't be possible to move on and pretend like nothing happened. It will always be there, it will poison everybody's life, and you are better off ending it then. And there, I don't think that every cheater is a serial cheater and just goes on to cheat on every partner for the rest of their life. Now there is still a strong correlation, but it's not a 100. I cheated once when I was a teen. I did it because I had tried to break up with her a couple of times, and every time she just had a meltdown. I wanted her to hate me and dump me herself. It didn't work. She just cheated on me back, lied about it. And I still had to dump her. I'm not saying that makes it right. I was a stupid kid who made a stupid decision. I'm an adult now and wouldn't pay those kind of games. If I find love, I'm not fucking it up for anything. It's like that joke about you fuck one goat. In itself, it isn't true. I spent 13 years trapped in a hellish marriage with a person I didn't have a relationship with. They were a violent, abusive narcissist who did what they do. Love bombed me into a relationship. Then once I was good and trapped, turned into someone completely different. I wanted out for a long time, but couldn't get out without putting the kids in danger. Many nights, I'd come home to an empty house. Many weekends I'd wake up to an empty house with no car and no way to go anywhere myself. It was awful and soul-crushingly lonely. Without exaggeration, the loneliness would have killed me if I didn't find someone to fill that gap from time to time. Until you've experienced it, you cannot fathom the loneliness of knowing you're trapped with a monster and have no prospect of ever having love or even companionship in your life again. Eventually, I did myself and the kids out of that situation, took a break and find my soulmate. We've been together nearly as long now and I could not ever fathom cheating on them. Never. So yeah, life just isn't that simple. It is possible for a human to change, especially if they have a reminder of how hurtful their behavior was. Unfortunately, regaining trust with the person you cheated on is a whole other issue entirely. You can stop being a cheater, but you will remain one in their eyes. Even if they do their best to trust you again, a memory of you did will always linger. I used to be a serial cheater. I chose relationships that were bad for me, or simply doomed from the start. And because I was a coward, I didn't have the balls or the responsibility to break it up. Haven't cheated in over a decade. I started working on myself and my reasonings. Getting sober also helped a ton. So for me, no. I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, and made a conscious decision to figure out why I had done it in the first place. I am not with any of the guys I cheated on. Not all of them know I did, and I plan to keep it that way. If they ever flat out asked, I wouldn't lie, but I am not going to do even more damage now. Based on some quick stats I googled, people that cheat once are more likely than average by around 3 times to cheat again. So woo, you can trust someone who has cheated to not cheat again, but you probably shouldn't. Elmo. I have cheated in the past. No excuse or justification for my actions. No matter what they did to me, cheating was so wrong for me to do. Ever since, I haven't really been pursuing long-term relationships. I have dated and slept around, but nothing serious. I don't trust myself to have the self-control to not do it again. I don't want to hurt anyone else. So, maybe that saying of once a cheater, always a cheater is true for me. I have a lot of soul-searching to do. I think it's easy to say that you'll never cheat if you've never been tempted. Relationships are work, and when things are going poorly and you unintentionally hit it off with someone, you definitely want to. I never did, and she broke up with me a week later, but I get it now. I don't agree. The reasons for cheating are too many to just assume that it's because the person is a complete piece of trash. Not saying cheating is right, not saying that people don't have the option of leaving without having to cheat, not condoning it. But it's not that black or white either. Edited. I didn't see this question was addressed to those who have cheated. I answered based on the fact that my father left my mom for my stepmom. It's been over 20 years and he's not cheated since. I got cheated on and decided to give her the chance. It turned into her accusing me of cheating every time she drank. Turns out, she was still cheating. I don't agree with it at all. I made out with a random girl in the club and regretted it immensely. I ruined a 6-year relationship. But after a bit of soul-searching and really pulling the situation apart, I realized I wasn't happy. I was in the relationship because I didn't know how to leave it. Many years later, I am married to a woman I could not imagine leaving, who challenges me and supports me. Sometimes it's a good bad solution for a bad situation. For me, twice a cheater, always a cheater comes closer to the truth. Once might be a slip up, or might have some reason banged it and you come to regret it and never cheat again. If you cheat twice, you'll do it again. I cheated on my boyfriend when I was 19. He refused to talk about any problems we were having and would just leave the room, so I got mad and drunk and kissed a friend. I split up with him a week later. I'm a very different person now, at 33, and have no intentions of ever cheating on my husband. I even feel guilty cheating on characters I'm dating in video games. I don't know, it's not that people can't change and get to the point where they don't cheat again, but I feel like most people don't put in the work to actually do so. I will caveat this by saying that I've never cheated on anyone, meaning I'm not who they wanted to answer. I've had 2 girlfriends cheat, one had to return a diamond ring to me after 5 years together, and I've had several childhood friends that were involved in affairs on both sides. In my experience, it's a level of betrayal that's so wrong that cheaters typically invent reasons for why it's their partner's fault. That isn't a conscious decision, but a self-defense mechanism. Your subconscious knows that you're doing something rotten and you have to come up with a reason for why it's justified, which will inevitably poison your opinion of your partner. They are such a bad boyfriend that it's their fault in cheating. Rather than break up or confront their partner about whatever issues they have, they choose cheating and act as if it wasn't a choice. It's what you do when you don't have the self-control to deny every sexual urge and can't come to terms with the shame you feel. To answer the question directly, I don't think they have to always be a cheater. But I do think that the kind of person that cheated in the first place has shown that they are a morally compromised person that will likely break again under pressure. Nonsensical, you're basically implying people are unable to change, which we know is 100% wrong because people do change. A person at 20 isn't the same at 30, and at 50 the person is different from when they were 30. If you put 20 years ago me and current me in a room together, she'd be throwing furniture and swears while I dodged and tried to explain about trust and love and all that stuff she didn't grow up with. Like there's a long list of reasons why she'd be throwing furniture, and getting old and boring regarding my romantic choices would be somewhere on that list. She was not a lovely person, and I'm sorry anybody put up with that crazy bitch. I'm still occasionally running into people I knew in high school and feeling the urge to apologize even if I can't remember what for. I was confusedly wallowing around in undiagnosed PTSD and splashed a lot of pain around in the process. Like I was picking the worst possible choice in every situation, not sure how I survived it or why anybody put up with me.